The world-renowned humanitarian and chef José Andrés and his volunteers at World Central Kitchen have served more than 300 million, listen to that number, 300 million meals in disaster zones around the world. Now he's released the World Central Kitchen Cookbook, Feeding Humanity, Feeding Hope. Chef José Andrés is here with us live. Chef, you know, I don't know how you have time for all of this. You're running your restaurants, you run World Central Kitchen, you're everywhere all at once. Where did the idea come from for this?
Well, just for the record, I barely run my own restaurants, but I don't run World Central Kitchen. I am one more volunteer. Yes, I was the founder. Yes, I go to many missions when I can free myself. But what I'm fascinated is that 14 years after we founded World Central Kitchen, just the organization keeps responding. I mean, right now we are in Ukraine. I mean, right now we are in Morocco. Just we finished Turkey. We were in Florida. We were in Maui. That's why I'm very proud, that this is an organization by people that they show up and bring a response when people need food and water. So why we did this book? This is not a recipe book, and this is not my book, even you see my name. This is the stories of the people.
Of the people.
The stories of the people that make it happen in the most difficult situations.
Yeah. And the thing that's amazing about it, World Central Kitchen, is you go to a disaster zone, a place where a tragedy has occurred, and you don't bring a menu from somewhere else. You do a menu based on what the people there would recognize as a taste of home. So even if their home is in rubble or underwater, you're giving them that flavor of the place where they're from. That's a challenge. How do you source the ingredients? How do you get the expertise?
The knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Of the land.
It's all the contrary. It's the easiest path. When you cook what the locals want, you do it because what ingredients you have in the middle of Puerto Rico? The local ingredients of Puerto Rico. People think like in emergencies, food is never around. It's all the contrary. Only you have to go find it. Why? Because everything is destroyed. A hurricane. You cannot call the company, hey, send me 1,000 pounds of chicken. Maybe you have to drive to find the company that have the chicken. The only thing that you do is you source for the people, the kitchens, the food, and you put it all together. And then the most important, you go find the people that need you because they cannot find you. Why? Because it's chaos.
Yeah. Well, as soon as they smell the food coming up, they're going to find you. I'm pretty sure about that.
So local food is the normal thing to do.
Yeah.
Because it's what the local people know how to cook. And it's also what people like. Yeah. They don't want our pity. They want our respect. In Haiti, I was making black beans 14 years ago. And the woman came to me and said, thank you for the beans, but we don't eat them this way. Here, the white boy trying to feed those amazing Haitian women. You know what we did? We cook them in the way they like it. This amazing black bean sauce.
I tried it last night. It was delicious.
Yeah. My friend, you see, by listening to the people will tell you what they need, what they want. This is the least we can do in those situations.
You let the culture and the tradition speak through the food. And speaking of smelling the food, as Tony mentioned, you brought some dishes for us, and one of them, iconic dish from Ukraine. Do you want to explain what you have for us today?
So this dish, many people, which are these kind of amazing dumplings.
Okay.
That usually they are stuffed with cheese, but then you'll find many other stuffings now. Very creative, mushrooms and other things. But you know, in Poland, you will know them as pierogis. Actually, that's one recipe that is technically not even in the book, but it's the future of what we are, because we are very present in Ukraine. This is one of the dishes we've been serving very often in the very cold nights in winter in Ukraine. Actually, I have it written here, the Ukrainian people, they call them vareniki. These dumplings, you will find them everywhere. That's home food for many Ukrainians in the middle of a war, near the front lines. You bring them vareniki, and for few minutes, you are lifting up their spirit.
Absolutely. Incredible. I mean, there's nothing like that home-cooked meal that reminds you of your family, of your home, when people may not even have one. This was such a collaboration. You even had Michelle Obama, the Duchess of Sussex contribute to this. How did that come about?
Well, you know, it takes a village to make things happen. And it's a lot of people over the last 14 years that they've been helping us in different ways to make the organization we are today. Not necessarily. Everybody always tells me, Jose, how we can help? Not only World Central Kitchen, but how can I help my community?
Yeah.
And I always tell everybody, just do whatever you feel comfortable. Whatever you feel your expertise can help. You can be tweeting, you can be helping us raise funds, you can show up as a volunteer. It's 1,000 ways we can all do that. So for me to have, obviously, the most important, the chefs, the cooks that are part of this book, who are the ones that in the worst moments, they show up to help feed their people. And then, obviously, people like Michelle Obama and others, that they've been helping us to spread the word of what World Central Kitchen.
And that's what you're doing. You're showing that in everyone's little way that everyone can make a difference. José Andrés, thank you so much. Gracias por estar aquí. Thank
Food
you
is
for
love.
being here.
Food is love.
Indeed. The World Central Kitchen Cookbook is on sale now. All author proceeds will be used to support World Central Kitchen's emergency response efforts.